Let me start by saying I never thought I'd be this guy, the guy posting on Reddit about his failed marriage. But here I am, sitting in my empty house, staring at an email that shattered my life. 3 days ago, my wife, Claire, left for a work conference. We'd been distant lately. Arguments about money, her late nights, my suspicion she'd stopped caring. But I still trusted her. Or at least I told myself I did. Then, this morning, her email hit my inbox. 2 attachments: divorce, papers, and a photo. In the picture, Claire's laughing, her head tilted back like she used to do with me. But the man holding her isn't me. It's someone I've never seen. A guy in a crisp suit, smug grin, arm wrapped around my wife. The caption read, "This is how happiness looks now." I threw up. Twice. But here's where it gets messy. After rage crying in the shower, I did something stupid. I logged into Claire's old laptop. She'd left it behind years ago. I didn't expect to find anything. But buried in her notes app was a draft titled Jake's Birthday Plan, dated last month. Jake is our son. He turned 8 2 weeks ago. Claire threw him a party, gave him a puppy, acted like supermom. But the note wasn't about party themes or gifts. It was a checklist. Transfer $15K from joint account talk to Mark about the apartment, delete messages from Ethan's phone. Mark. That's the guy in the photo, I'm guessing. But the third line, delete messages from Ethan's phone. My phone. I've never gone through her things. Never wanted to. But now? I'm digging through her closet, her drawers, the filing cabinet she always kept locked. And I found a key. It's small, silver, unmarked. I don't know what it opens, but I'm holding it right now, and I'm terrified of what comes next. The key felt like it was burning a hole in my pocket. I drove to the bank in a daze, my hands shaking so badly I almost swerved into a parked car. The whole time, Jake's voice played in my head from the back seat. When's Mom coming home? Even though he was at school, oblivious. God, how do you tell an 8-year-old his world's about to explode? The bank clerk recognized Claire's name immediately. "Ah, yes," she said too cheerfully. "Box 214, right this way." Inside the private room, I slid the key into the lock. The box was stuffed. Passports, stacks of cash, a manila folder. But what stopped me cold was the photo tucked on top, Claire and Mark, again. But this wasn't a selfie. It was a candid shot, taken from afar. They were arguing outside a cafe, Claire's face twisted in anger, Mark gripping her arm. Dated 6 months ago. Underneath it, a letter. Handwritten. "Claire, you think you can walk away? After everything I've done for you? The money, the apartment, you owe me. Finish what we started, or Jake finds out the truth." My stomach dropped. Jake. Whatever this was, it involved our son. The cash was all hundreds. 50K, maybe more. The passports were fake. One for Claire under the name Laura Simmons. Another for Jake. No passport for me. But the folder. Jesus. Divorce papers, yes, but not the ones she'd emailed me. These were older, draft copies, dates going back a year, and notes in the margins. Ethan's depression, use against him. Jake's custody, claim instability. She'd been planning this for a year. Then I found the USB drive. I plugged it into my phone in the bank parking lot. Folders labeled Ethan, Jake, financials. I clicked on one titled Proof, voicemails, my voice. "Claire, pick up. I'm at the bar again. I can't do this. I can't." A slurred message from last winter, when I'd hit rock bottom after losing my job. "Mommy, is Daddy coming home?" Jake, sounding scared. From when I'd checked into a hotel during a fight. She'd been recording us, building a case. But why? The Claire I knew, the one who'd held me while I cried over my dad's funeral, wouldn't do this. Unless the financials folder had spreadsheets. Transfers from our joint account to an offshore one. 200K over the last 8 months. All under M Holdings LLC. Mark's company? I drove to the only place I could think. My brother's house. Dave answered the door, took one look at me, and poured 2 whiskeys. "You need to listen," I said, spreading the contents of the box on his kitchen table. He paled. "Ethan, this isn't just an affair. This is fraud. She's setting You up to take the fall. For what? The money. If she's draining your accounts, then divorces you for instability, you'd be liable. She walks free with cash, full custody, and you... He trailed off, staring at the fake passports. She's running. From something. Or someone. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text. Stop digging, or Jake gets hurt. Attached was a photo of Jake's school playground. Taken today. I ran to my car, Dave shouting after me. I called the school, voice cracking. Is Jake okay? Is he? He's right here, his teacher said. Wait, hold on. Jake, your dad wants to say hi. Daddy? His tiny voice shattered me. Did you bring my lunch? Mommy forgot it. Claire. She'd packed his lunch yesterday. She knew. I'll bring it, buddy. I hung up and screamed until my throat rawed. That night, I combed through every email, every text Claire and I ever shared. And I found it. A phrase she'd used last year. I'm stuck, Ethan. There's no way out. I'd thought she meant us. Our marriage. What if she didn't? At 2 a.m., I did the one thing I swore I wouldn't. I called her. She answered on the first ring. Ethan. Cold. Flat. Who's Mark? Silence. Then, a shaky breath. Don't. Is he threatening Jake? Are you? A muffled sound. Crying? You have no idea what you're doing. Stop. Sign the papers. Let me go. Or what, Claire? You'll destroy me? Too late. I gripped the phone. But if you hurt our son, I swear to God, I'm trying to protect him, she screamed. The line went dead. In the silence, I realized something. The USB drive had one more folder. Backup. Inside, a single audio file, dated 3 days ago, the night she left. I pressed play. Claire's voice, trembling. I can't do this anymore. He's my son, my husband, Mark, low and dangerous. You should have thought of that before you stole from me. Now finish it, or I finish them. A gun cocking. Claire, sobbing. Okay. The recording ended. I sat there. Jake asleep down the hall, Claire's screams echoing in my skull. She wasn't leaving me. She was trying to save us. The recording rewired my brain. Claire's fear, Mark's threats. None of this was about us. It was about survival. But survival for who? I played the file again, my hands trembling. Jake's soft snores drifting from his bedroom. I'm trying to protect him, Claire had screamed. Protect him from what? I called Dave back. He arrived in 10 minutes, still in pajamas, clutching a baseball bat. We're calling the cops, he said, staring at the USB drive. And tell them what? My wife's a criminal? They'll take Jake. Or worse. What if Mark's watching the house? Then we disappear. Now. With what money? Claire drained the accounts. She's got the cash, the passports. We have the cash, Dave interrupted, nodding at the safe deposit box contents strewn across my kitchen table. 50 grand. That's enough to vanish. I looked at Jake's door. Vanish. Become the kind of parent who rips their kid from school, life, everything. But then I remembered the text, the photo of his school. Mark knew where he was, knew how to hurt me. Pack a bag, Dave said. Clothes, cash, Jake's meds, Jake's asthma, his inhaler. Shit. I'd almost forgotten. While Dave stuffed the money into a duffel bag, I crept into Jake's room. He was curled around his new puppy, a golden mutt named Bingo. Hey, buddy, I whispered, shaking him gently. We're gonna go on a trip. Like an adventure. He blinked sleepily. Where's Mommy? She's meeting us there. The lie tasted like acid. We drove north, Dave tailing us in his truck. No plan, just back roads and paranoia. Jake fell asleep again, Bingo licking his cheek. Every set of headlights behind us felt like a threat. At a gas station near the state line, my phone buzzed. Claire, her. Turn around, now. Me. Tell me the truth, or I swear I'll expose everything. Her. You don't understand. He'll kill you. He'll take Jake. Me. Who is Mark? A pause. Then, her. My brother. The phone slipped from my hand. Brother. Claire never mentioned a brother. She told me her family died in a car crash when she was 18. Another text. Not bio. Foster. Long story. I owe him. But it's over. Please, Ethan. Let me fix this. You believe her? Dave asked when I showed him. Does it matter? We parked at a motel off Highway 27. While Jake colored on the scratchy bedspread, I Googled Mark Holden plus Claire. Nothing. Then I tried M Holdings LLC. The company website was sleek, vague, investment solutions for a secure future, but the address matched an office park downtown. Then I found a news article from 5 years ago. Local man arrested in Ponzi scheme. Charges dropped due to lack of evidence. The man's face was blurred, but the suit, the posture, it was Mark, Claire's foster brother, a con artist. Jake tugged my sleeve. Daddy, can Bingo have a cheeseburger? I ordered 3 combos, my mind racing. Claire owed Mark. From the Ponzi scheme? Had she been involved? Was the money in the safe deposit box stolen? At midnight, Dave took watch in the parking lot. I tucked Jake in, his breathing raspy from the motel's dusty air. Daddy? He mumbled. Is Mommy in trouble? Yeah, buddy, but we're gonna help her. How? The answer came at 3 a.m. Claire called. I stepped into the bathroom, ran, the sink to drown my voice. Ethan, listen carefully, she said, voice hurried. Mark set it all up. The transfers, the passports. It's his exit plan. He's using me to launder money. When the feds track it, I take the fall. And if I refuse, he threatens Jake. A sob. I tried to back out. That's when he sent the photo. Said he'd make you think I left willingly. That you'd hate me, but at least you'd both be alive. My knees buckled. I slid down the wall. Why didn't you tell me? You were drowning, Ethan. After your dad died, the job loss, I couldn't drag you deeper. I thought I could handle it. By stealing from us? By lying? By keeping you safe? Her breath hitched. There's a ledger in our safe. The combination is Jake's birthday. It lists every payment, every fake shell company Mark used. Take it to the FBI. It's enough to put him away. And you? Silence. Then quietly. I love you. Tell. Jake. The line cut off. The safe. Back at the house. I woke Dave. I need to go back. Are you insane? Mark's probably watching the place. Claire left evidence. Proof to stop him. Or it's a trap. I glanced at Jake, sleeping with his arms around Bingo. Then I'll take the risk. Dave refused to stay behind. We left Jake with the motel owner, a retired nurse with kind eyes and a shotgun under her counter. He'll be safe here, she said. And I prayed that was true. The house felt haunted. Claire's perfume still hung in the air. I spun the safe dial. 0815. Jake's birthday. Inside, next to our wedding album, was a leather journal. Dates, amounts, names. Millions funneled through offshore accounts. And a list. Victims of Mark's scams. Dozens of them. At the bottom, a note in Claire's handwriting. I'm sorry for all of it. Dave flipped through it, whistling. This is enough to bury Mark, but Claire's neck deep too. She's trying to fix it, or save herself. We argued until headlights flooded the driveway. A black SUV, back door, Dave hissed. We ran, the ledger stuffed under my shirt. The SUV revved, smashing through the fence. I didn't look back. Dave's truck peeled out as gunshots popped. Glass shattered. Floor it, I screamed. He swerved onto the highway, the SUV gaining. Call 911, but the ledger was the only proof. And if Mark got it, a bullet hit the tailgate. Dave cursed, slamming the gas. Ethan, the bridge! A construction zone ahead. Closed lane, no guardrails. The SUV rammed us. Metal. Screamed. We hit the gravel edge. The truck lurched, tipped, and plunged into the river. The water swallowed us whole. Cold, black, suffocating. Dave's truck flipped as it sank, the windshield cracking under pressure. I clawed at my seatbelt, the ledger still jammed under my shirt. Dave was screaming, but the sound was muffled, distant, like we were already dead. The river pulled us deeper. My lungs burned. Jake's face flashed in my mind, his laugh, his tiny hands clutching Bingo. I couldn't die here. I kicked the door, once, twice. The third time, it gave. Water rushed in, dragging me out. I grabbed Dave's arm, but he was limp, blood swirling. From a gash on his forehead. No. I hooked my arm under his chest and kicked toward the surface. The weight of my clothes, the ledger, Dave's body threatening to drag us both under. We broke through. I gasped, choking on air and river sludge. The SUV idled on the bridge above, a silhouette leaning over the railing. Mark. Dave. I slapped his face. No response. The current carried us toward the bank. I hauled him onto the rocks, my muscles, screaming, and pounded his chest. He coughed, water spewing from his mouth. Jake. Alive. We're alive. Headlights appeared on the road. The SUV peeled away. Coward. We stumbled to a gas station, dripping and shaking. The clerk took one look at us and called 911, but we couldn't wait. The ledger, smeared, but intact, was our only weapon. We need copies, Dave croaked. Now. At a 24-hour FedEx, I scanned every page, emailed them to myself, Dave, and 3 burner accounts. Then I mailed the original to my divorce attorney with a note. If I die, give this to the FBI. But we couldn't stop there. Jake. The motel was empty when we returned. No Jake, no Bingo, no kind-eyed nurse. Just a note taped to the TV. You shouldn't have run. Come alone. 373 Elmhurst Ride. Or the kids next. Dave grabbed my arm. It's a trap. I know. Then let's call the cops. The feds. Someone. And tell them what? That my wife's foster brother, a wanted con artist, kidnapped my son after I stole evidence of his crimes? They'll take Jake away. Or Mark kills him faster. I stared at the address. I'm going. Dave didn't argue. He drove me to Elmhurst Road, a dead-end street lined with abandoned warehouses. I'll circle the block. If you're not, out in 20 minutes I'm charging in. The warehouse door creaked open. Inside, fluorescent lights flickered over concrete floors. Claire? I called. A figure stepped from the shadows. Mark. He looked nothing like the photo. Gaunt, unshaven, eyes hollow. The suit was gone, replaced by a stained hoodie, but the gun in his hand gleamed. Where's Jake? I demanded. He smirked. Safe, for now. Let him go. The ledger's gone. The feds have it. You think I care about the ledger? He stepped closer. This was never about money. It was about her. Claire promised me forever. Then she met you. My blood went cold. Promised him? We grew up in hell, he spat. Foster homes, abuse, starving. I kept her alive, me, and she owed me. But you? He pressed the gun to my chest. You stole her. She's your sister, not by blood. His finger twitched on the trigger. She was mine first. A whimper echoed above us. Jake. He was tied to a railing on the second floor, Bingo clutched in his arms. His eyes widened when he saw me. Daddy! Mark swung the gun toward him. Say goodbye. Wait! Claire's voice rang out. She stumbled from a side door, face bruised, clothes torn. I'm here. Let them go. Mark laughed. You're too late. Again. Please. She fell to her knees. You win, I'll stay. I'll do anything. Just let Jake go. I lunged at Mark. The gun went off. Claire screamed. The bullet tore through my shoulder. I crashed into Mark, and we hit the floor. The gun skidded away. Run, Jake! Claire scrambled for the gun. Mark punched me, his knuckles splitting my lip. You ruin everything. Claire grabbed the gun. Stop! Mark froze. She aimed at him, hands shaking. Claire, he whispered. You'd choose him? I chose them a long time ago. A shot echoed. Mark collapsed. Claire dropped the gun, rushing to Jake. She untied him, sobbing into his hair. I'm sorry, baby, I'm so sorry. Dave burst in, baseball bat raised. Ethan! It's over, I choked, clutching my bleeding shoulder. Call an ambulance. But Mark wasn't dead. As Claire carried Jake toward me, he stirred, hand inching toward the gun. Claire, look out! Bingo leaped from Jake's arms, snarling. The puppy latched onto Mark's hand. He howled, swatting, but Bingo held on like a rabid wolf. By the time the cops arrived, Mark was unconscious, the dog still guarding him. The cops cuffed Mark first, then Claire. She didn't resist, just kept her eyes locked on Jake as they led her away. "It's okay, baby," she whispered. "Daddy's got you." Paramedics strapped me to a gurney, my shoulder wrapped in gauze. Jake clung to Dave, Bingo tucked under his arm like a stuffed toy. "Is Mommy a bad guy?" he asked, watching Claire get shoved into a squad car. Dave hesitated. "No, buddy, she's just lost." The hospital stitched me up, but the real damage was deeper. Child Protective Services came. So did the FBI. For hours, I repeated the story. Claire's blackmail, Mark's threats, the ledger. They asked about the money, the passports, the gun. I told them everything except one thing. Claire's final words to me. "I love you." 2 days later, they let me take Jake home. The house was a crime scene. Yellow tape crisscrossing the door. We slept at Dave's, Jake's nightmares shaking him awake every hour. "He needs therapy," Dave said. But all I could think was, so do I. Claire's trial lasted 6 months. She pleaded guilty to embezzlement, fraud, obstruction. The DA offered a deal. Testify against Mark, reduce her sentence. She refused. Why? I asked her through the prison glass. "You could be out in 5 years." She smiled, frail and tired. "Because Jake can't lose both of us." Mark's trial was a circus. The ledger, the recordings, the bullet pulled from my shoulder. It all painted him as a monster. He got 25 years. Claire got 8. I took Jake to visit her once. He drew her pictures. Our house, Bingo, a stick figure family with too many arms. "When are you coming home?" he asked. Claire pressed her palm to the glass. "When you're big enough to beat me at basketball." He never asked to go back. Life limped forward. I got a job at Dave's auto shop, fixing engines by day, fixing myself by night. Jake started 3rd grade. Bingo chewed through 3 couches. We were okay. Not whole, but okay. Then, last week, the letter came. "Ethan, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know the truth. The first time Mark hit me, I was 16. He was 19, fresh out of juvie, and our foster dad's favorite. He said if I told anyone, he'd burn down the house with me in it. So I stayed quiet. When I met you, I thought I could outrun him, but he found me. Always finds me. The money I stole, it wasn't for Mark. It was for us. A new life, far away. But then he threatened Jake, and I panicked. The divorce papers, the photo, all his ideas. He wanted you to hate me, so you'd never look for the truth. I'm sorry. For all of it. For not being stronger. For not trusting. You're a good father, Ethan. Better than I deserved. Claire." I read it 3 times, then burned it in the backyard grill. Jake sat on the steps, tossing a ball for Bingo. "Dad," he said out of nowhere, "I miss her." "Me too." "Buddy, can we write her a letter?" So we did. Just 3 lines, in Jake's wobbly handwriting. "Mom, Bingo ate your slippers. I got an A in math. Come home soon. Love, Jake." I didn't add anything, but I slipped in a photo. Jake's school play, him dressed as a tree, grinning like he'd won the lottery. Claire wrote back, "Tell Bingo I'll buy new slippers. Tell Jake I'm proud. Tell Ethan. Thank you." It's not a happy ending. But it's not an ending at all. Jake turns 16 next month. Claire's up for parole. Sometimes when we drive past the river, I catch him staring at the bridge, silent. Other times, he laughs so hard milk comes out his nose. We're okay, and maybe one day, we'll be more than that. Life doesn't give you clean endings. No dramatic music, no credits rolling just as the sun sets. Some days, I wake up and forget she's gone. Others, I find Jake staring at her old coffee mug, and the grief feels fresh again. But here's the thing about surviving. You learn to carry the weight. Claire's parole hearing is next week. Jake wants to go. What if they say no? He asks, pacing his room like a mini-adult. Bingo, now a grizzled old dog with a gray muzzle, thumps his tail like he's cheering him on. Then we keep waiting, I say. But what if she's changed? I don't have an answer. People aren't characters in a movie. Redemption isn't a montage. It's slow, messy, and some days it doesn't stick. But Jake's right about one thing. Claire's trying. Her letters are fewer now, but they're filled with book recommendations, bad jokes, and questions about his life. Not, how's school? But, what's the dumbest thing Bingo's destroyed this month? She's learning. Dave thinks I'm nuts for even considering letting her back in. She lied, Ethan. She left. She also saved us, I say. The truth is, I don't know what's right. Love and betrayal aren't opposites. They're neighbors. You can hate someone's choices and still love them. You can forgive without forgetting. Or maybe forgiveness is just deciding to stop letting the past drown you. Jake's therapist says it's healthy to be conflicted. Ambivalence is human, she tells him. He rolls his eyes. Ambivalence is annoying, he corrects her. The night before the hearing, Jake crawls into my bed like he did when he was little. Remember when Mom taught me to ride a bike? He says. She ran beside me the whole time, even when I crashed into the mailbox. You took out 3 trash cans, I laugh. She said I was relentless. He hesitates. Do you think she's still relentless? Yeah, buddy, I do. The parole board says yes. Claire steps out in a gray sweater, her hair shorter, hands clasped like she's holding herself together. Jake sprints to her, then stops an arm's length away. They stare at each other, 2 strangers who share a heartbeat. Hey, she says. Hey, he replies. She doesn't hug him, doesn't push, just smiles, tears streaming, and says, You're taller than me. Told you I would be, he shrugs. And that's it, the ice cracks. They talk about Bingo, school, the new bike he's saving for. Normal things, miraculous things. After, she looks at me. Thank you for letting me see him. I nod. No grand speech, no promises, just a quiet understanding. This isn't an ending. It's a comma. I don't know what you're thinking right now. Maybe you're furious at Claire. Maybe you pity me. Maybe you're screaming, move on, at your screen. I get it. Love after betrayal isn't a formula, it's a choice over and over, even when it doesn't make sense. Some of you might say I'm weak for not slamming the door. Others might call me a fool for hoping. But here's the thing. Life isn't a Reddit thread. There's no upvote button for the right decision. We're all just guessing, trying to stitch together something that looks like peace. So yeah, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe Claire's a liar. Maybe Jake's the only hero here. But if this mess taught me anything, it's that secrets rot you. Talk to the people you love, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. And if you're in the middle of your own disaster, breathe, survive, forgive yourself first. Thank you for staying till the end. For every comment, DM, and shared story, you kept me going. If you want more raw, messy truths, check out my other videos. But for now, hug someone. Call your mom. Adopt a dog. Life's too short to pretend we've got it all figured out. Thanks for watching to the end. If this story gripped you, check out my other videos for more real-life drama and survival tales. And remember, you're stronger than you think.